What is up YouTube, and welcome back to another 7 Nights Rebirth video. And today we're going to be talking about Trude. So as you guys know, Trude has completely taken over the meta. If you guys didn't know, well, at the high end you'll see Trude in a ton of teams. You can see that she works in these magic teams. You can use her in the physical teams. You can also use her in a tank team. There's a lot of different ways you can play her, which makes her very flexible and strong. And it's also very frustrating because a lot of the fights that you'll find when you fight versus Trude, they end up going into a 1v1 with Trude versus Trude. If there's a Platin on either side, usually the Platin gets dragged along as well. So the fights can take forever, and there's some situations where it just comes down to RNG depending on how your skills line up. And even it can time out, which can be really frustrating because if you had a skill that was about to come up, you could have won. Or if a Platin just HP alterations you right before the timer ran out, you just randomly lose. So because of this, and also because of the Trude meta, I want to show you guys a strategy that it's not what I came up with, it's what one of my guildies and I guess some other people have also been experimenting with. And it's going to be something that you can run on your Trude and even your Platin if you're running that Platin. If you're not even running Trude and you have a Platin, usually what ends up happening is your Platin ends up 1v1ing the Trude. And I want to show you guys something that you can do to actually not always win against it, but significantly increase your win rates, because as you guys know, the 1v1s usually just come to both those units spamming their basic attack. You are basically just trading basic attacks over and over. If skills randomly come up, then you can win randomly, even if you shouldn't have won. But for the most part, you're going to be spamming basic attacks, like more than like 15-20 times in that 1v1. So what I have been experimenting with, and this isn't really a Trude build guide, I'll have one later on in like probably tomorrow or something when I actually finalize her build, because I've been testing out a lot of different stuff. But what I want to show you today is something you can actually do to win that 1v1 a lot more easier. And actually it is pretty effective. And you can see it here on my Trude. It's very obvious what it is because you don't see this run in PvP at all. It is the Death Ring. So this is what I've been running on my Trude. And you're probably wondering why I'm not running a legendary ring. To be honest, legendary rings are really good, but unless I have like a 5-star or higher guts ring, I don't really find it worth it, and I don't have one because this shield just dies in one turn. It's pretty good still if you want, but I found that just having the 6-star death ring is just way better for my win rate. And I think it'll be, for the most part, true for most players, especially if you're fighting against other Trudes with your Trude. And the reason why is because you get a chance to inflict death for 3 turns, and in the 1v1 this can be absolutely critical. You're gonna see here that, you know, in this 1v1, basically no one really knew who would win. I guess not no one, it's just me watching. But it looked like I should have lost, right? And at any point when we're trading basic attacks, I have a 6% chance to inflict death with the 6-star ring, right? And this makes it so that if I ever land it, well, he's just going to bleed out very quickly and just randomly die at the end, right? And just give me the win. And you're going to see in this clip, it actually is the case where he ends up dying at the end, which is actually hilarious, right? So that is why this ring is super good for those situations. You do want to refine it because, you know, you still want to hit that 100% block rate, 100% crit rate if you're not T6, and you also want that weakness hit chance if you are T6. So you want to refine it. But I definitely recommend, if you're going to do this, that you run your Trude on a 6-star ring for death. And you might be thinking, oh, that is very hard to do. Well, fortunately for us with the patch, and this is like the biggest reason why I'm doing it, is in the crafting system now, you can craft gray and green rings. Previously, you could only craft blue and orange ones, the rare and legendary ones. But now you can actually craft a legendary ring like this. So you can actually make one yourself. So you just need 6 5-star rings, you just put it in. A lot of the 5-star rings are status rings, so even though they're good, you don't really need a ton of them. So you could do something like this, and right away, I can craft a 6-star death ring right now. And the best part about it is once you craft this ring, after that, you can refine this uncommon ring with like a gray ring, right? So what I went with is block rate. You could also go for defense is pretty good with the ring of, not ring of protection. Is it the ring of protection? It's this ring of protection. There's 2 ring of protections. That's kind of weird. Yeah, but anyways, one of them is defense, one of them is block. You can go for either. You can also go crit rate if you're not T6. Weakness hit chance is good if you need more weakness hit. You can go health with ring of nature. You can go damage, right? There's a lot of options that you can refine it onto. You just want to craft that death ring on her because it'll make her it'll make it so that you don't have to waste as many materials, right? Because honestly, getting green rings is a lot harder in this game, which is pretty obvious because it's a higher rarity. So you want to refine onto the death ring, you know, with those gray rings that give you extra stats. Or you can go for another status ring, right? In the 1v1, stun is good, you know, shock is good. Doesn't really matter for the most part. Both are fine. But I like the extra stats because I'm missing stats. But I will switch it off to probably stun on the secondary refined part because I do plan to get her to, I think it's 30% block rate. No, 40% block rate, which will get me to 100. So I'm kind of using the ring as a crutch right now. If you guys are using platin, you can do the same thing. So I'm on a 5-star resurrection ring, and then I have the 5-star death ring refined onto it. And this is what I got. And this one I did by randomly refining random 5-star gray rings. And even if you refine these gray rings, you can still get like a green effect on it, right? You can't get the blue ones, but you can get a green one. So that's what I did, and I ended up getting a death, you know, secondary effect by refining my 5-star gray fodder rings. So you can do that as well. I have platin and Trude on death, so it makes it so in those mirrors against other Trude platins, which I'll show you, or against just like other Trudes, or even in just like against tank comps, you can just randomly win with death, which is really hilarious. So I'll show you guys a fight here. Pretty much a mirror matchup. He just has Tio in instead of my Amelia, which honestly doesn't sound the worst because right now you just want to get a lot of damage off in the beginning and then have your Trude and Platin just kind of carry you in the late game. And you can see right off the rip it looks really bad for me, right? But honestly, the fights, the mirrors are very swingy, so should be able to win this with the death ring, right? If I do get to the late game. I will say, Trude, even though she has a 3-turn CC immunity, her biggest weakness is still CC, because it's very hard to queue up the bottom skill, because there's just more important things to do. But if you get CC locked, you kind of just lose, because she just bleeds so much HP. And right now, you're going to see it will end up being a 1v1 very soon here, or I guess a 2v2 with Platin and Trude, which always end up happening. And even though it looks like I am in a good spot, you have to realize the Trude's top skill is about to come up on the enemy side. So even though he does die, it's going to quickly turn into a 2v2 scenario, right? And at this point, you know, it becomes a situation where who knows who's gonna win, right? And you might be thinking this is such a specific situation. If you guys are playing Trude in your teams, you'll know that it's not. But right away, this is a situation where it looks like I'm gonna lose, and I just randomly hit the death onto the Trude. Even though I get this HP alteration, the enemy Platin does it here too, right? So it's like, who's gonna win? Oh, by the way, I have death on him, and then he dies. So, you know, it's a... maybe this isn't the best, I guess, showcase of it, but you can see, you know, it's very important for that death to go off there, because it could have been a situation where I took more damage and ended up dying. If my Trude ever dies here, I just end up losing. But it is a strategy that I have been using on my teams for both offense and defense on my Trude and Platin, and definitely have been seeing not a huge spike, but a decent increase in my win rate because a lot of people are running this team, right? And you're not really losing too much out of it. So something I really recommend. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys what I've been doing on my Trude in terms of the ring. It's not going to increase your win rate by like 30% or anything, not like a super crazy OP build, but it's something that will increase your win rate by a decent amount or a slight amount, and just any increase to win rate in arena will just help you climb, right? Because you can grind a lot of arena runs every single day, even like up to 30 if you're doing all of them, if you buy the ones that rotate in the general shop. So pretty important to get your win rate up, and this has made me climb a lot more easier and hold my rank a lot easier. But if you are running Trude and you're finding that your fights are running into the 1v1s a lot, try out the death ring or even like a stun ring. I think both are good. I think the death ring is slightly better if you combine them both. Probably the best option because you're able to stop the enemy Trudes from healing with CC, and also you have a chance to inflict that death, which is going to be pretty crucial in some of the 1v1s, and might win you a couple more games that you should have lost, which in turn will help you climb a lot quicker. So thank you for watching, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.